Welcome back everyone to my F1 2020 career mode. We are here for a double episode today, so we've got two races in the one episode. That's what I should have said before, but oh well. And if you missed out on the last episode, it was the Vietnam Grand Prix, and basically we finished in P8. So if you want to check the last episode, I've just spoiled it for you, so sorry about that. And we're going to get right into the next episode, which is the Dutch Grand Prix, and we start 21st, so let's go to the race. So we're here in the Netherlands for the Zandvoort Grand Prix, or the Dutch Grand Prix, whatever, and it's round 3 of the My Team career mode. Now, you know, last year, if you were watching my career mode, we only done 3 rounds, and that means we've basically matched the amount of career mode rounds that we've done last year, so we're achieving something anyway. So the grid for today is Valtteri Bottas on pole, from Sebastian Vettel in second, followed by Leclerc in third, Hamilton is in fourth, followed by Max Verstappen, the home hero, in fifth, with Alex Albon sixth. McLaren lock out this fourth row, I believe, 7th, 8th, with Stroll and Perez 9th and 10th, Ricciardo 11th, Esteban Ocon 12th, Kvyat 13th, Gasly 14th, Giovinazzi 15th, Grosjean 16th, Raikkonen 17th, Magnussen 18th, followed by George Russell in 19th, Mick Schumacher in 20th, and ourselves 21st, and Nicholas Latifi in 22nd.
Engine okay, engine's okay.
Lewis Hamilton seemed to have problems with his engine there. I don't know if he was just if he did have problems or not. Just asking if there was any problems with the engine before the Grand Prix starts, just like what it's about to now. As the lights are coming on here for the Dutch Grand Prix, we start 21st. What can we achieve today? And it's lights out and away we go. And as you can see here, it's been a good start from Leclerc at the front there. I just spotted that, and we've had a fantastic start as well. Side by side with Mick Schumacher, we take a suicidal dive into the first corner, with the Haas drivers beside us as well. We understeer into the Haasies, and look at that, Grosjean and Magnussen colliding there a little bit, and Grosjean losing a piece of his front wing, and everyone is going slow into this next left-hander here, and we're taking well advantage of that. Going round the outside off 2 Alfa Romeos there, that was fantastic stuff, taking advantage of the cars on the inside line. I'd say the outside is the best place to be at that corner. Raikkonen trying to fight back though, Giovinazzi down the inside on Kimi Raikkonen as we fly through the right-hander there, and you can see we've went a bit wide, and it's quite hard to get that corner right anyway. No matter what, you need to be in the right gear, make sure you got the right turn in. It is very hard. As you can see, the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers still going for it here into the second sector. Giovinazzi not giving up to his older teammate Kimi Raikkonen here, on board with Giovinazzi now. Raikkonen got the better exit I seen there, and he's now got a better speed down the back straight, and now he's managed to get ahead. And as we skip later on to the end of lap 1, just a few corners late here, we're on board with Daniel Kvyat. This is who I believe it is. He's not had a great run, he's on the medium tyres. We're going to the first corner down the inside on Daniel Kvyat for, I believe that was P14, I'm not sure, I can't really remember sometimes, and it's very frustrating when you try to do these and you just can't remember where you are, because you've got a good run on Gasly as well. It was Kvyat there, because we can see number 10 on Gasly as we're approaching him into the left-hander here. It's going to be very close. We're on board with Gasly from his rear view camera at the moment. As you can see, we go a bit wide in the dirty air, which is not a good sign, obviously, because you know it's quite hard to follow around this track. We skip later on into the Grand Prix though. We managed to keep up with Gasly a little bit as he pulled away just a little bit actually as we go later on into the race, and now Kvyat with the medium tyres as our tyres start to degrade a bit more. He's got the better advantage. Still early stages in this Grand Prix as we cut across that curve there. As you can see, a lot of people do that, and I mean it is really fun to do as well. But as we go into turn 1 again, we tried a little cheeky dive on Daniel Kvyat. We thought we'd just go for a bit of entertainment there, and we tried to get Kvyat back, but it just didn't work. Almost did, but it just well out position our car there as if we fly through the next few corners. So we skip on to lap 12 now. Pit stop strategy is going to start to come into place, as you can see with...
Okay, Esteban, can you press OK twice, please? Press OK twice. And then when you come to a stop, the same procedure, going carefully from P2 to P1, wait 3 seconds, and then to P0, please.
Understood.
Sorry, we got interrupted there by Esteban Ocon, because he is out of the Grand Prix. Not good stuff for Esteban Ocon there. So what I was going to say is everyone is starting to pit now. Undercuts, overcuts, left, right and centre. We are pitting on lap 13 of the Grand Prix. Our tyres are pretty much dead. Onto the hard tyres. Not the quickest of stops from our guys. Only 3 seconds as we come out the pits, but we've got everything covered as we've got a decent advantage to everyone else. But throughout this Grand Prix there has been a feud going on, and it's between the two Red Bull drivers. Let's listen in to see what's been going on.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
I mean, what's the point to pit when I'm in traffic?
Sorry guys, but I told you, just don't put me in traffic.
Yeah, well, no. This happens when you're gonna get so close to the car.
This guy is such a salute.
Yeah, copy. Head down, fight back. Mode 7.
As you can see there, that is pretty crazy stuff, as Max did finally get past in the end.
Can I push yet? Let me know how much you want it. Come on. I'm going for it.
So the problem is here with Zandvoort is it's very hard to overtake, and everyone is getting caught out in the dirty air, and the engines are overheating and stuff like that, and everyone wants track position. And clearly what happened with the Red Bull battle is that Albon got ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen's the faster driver. Albon didn't want to let him past, and then there was a feud over the team radio about that, and eventually Verstappen did get him. But Albon being a bit angry as well with that, and as you can see later on, Perez is doing it on a 2-stop at the moment, I noticed, and we don't need to really fight him, so we gave him about a few sectors to see what his pace was like, and so we got to the straight here. We did fight him a little bit here, as you can see, turning in a little bit before the corner, but we just had to give up a little bit. We don't want to lose any more time because we are fighting some cars behind, which is a bit more a realistic situation for us here as we fly through into the end of the first sector here. So really from here, we're just trying to push the tyres on the hards. I felt like we're getting better each lap, as you can see, onto lap 30 of the Grand Prix. Now we set the purple final first sector, I noticed as well, so the fastest final sector and green sectors as well for us. So the car, or should I say the track, was just improving every lap, with obviously the sun just coming out a bit more and the temperature going up because we started on overcast conditions. And there's not even that, we've actually managed to keep up with Perez for the rest of this Grand Prix as well, so we've actually kept in about 3-second gap, but after all that, as you can see, we've just crossed the line. We're at the end of the Grand Prix here, and it's Valtteri Bottas who finally wins.
Yes, guys.
So Bottas wins the Dutch Grand Prix there. He made up from last time, because obviously he did win the Vietnam Grand Prix but got done by a penalty, and that ended up letting Vettel win the race. And as you can see, we're back on board with us here at the end of the race basically, and we are half a second up on our fastest lap. As you can see here, we're quite quick, and the car has felt very good around this track, so our car seems to suit tracks like this, I've noticed, in pace. As we cross the line, it's a 1:12.0, and I have to say I believe that is only 1.4 off the fastest lap, which I will take, because obviously we're still early stages of this car and in the season as well, so if we're only 1.4 off the fastest lap on the hard compound tyres, I will take that any day of the week, and obviously setups help as well. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Not the most exciting Grand Prix though. Obviously I have to say, from my point of view, it was pretty boring, and probably the most boring race I've driven in Korean mode for a long time, and just in general. So not really too much except for Esteban Ocon with his failure and stuff, but I did enjoy driving the track as well. Zandvoort is a track that I very much like, and one of my favourites on the calendar especially. But yeah, Bottas winning, making up for the last Grand Prix. Interesting stuff. He makes it 3 different winners in this career mode season so far. There's Lando Norris in 8th place. And yeah, luckily for you guys, this is not the end of the video, because we are about to go on into the Spanish Grand Prix for round 4 of the championship now, because obviously we've got a custom calendar, 16 races we've got this season, so we can play about with the calendar, and Spain is next. I was thinking about taking Spain out, but we've just left it in there, and we'll see how the car copes as well. We have a few upgrades coming for the next Grand Prix as well, especially durability, as you're about to see in a few seconds after I've showed you the standings and stuff. But yeah, we've got a few bits and pieces coming soon, and we'll have a major upgrade in the next few episodes coming as well, I believe it'll be for the Canadian Grand Prix, which is aerodynamics and chassis as well, because we've got enough to afford it. We were the last running car, as you can see, from all the other lap runners, so only on the lead lap, should I say, with the last running car on the lead lap. We started 21st, finished 14th, good stuff there. And as you can see, we've dropped to 12th in the standings as well, but not too much difference, because you know everyone is kind of close there as well. Max Verstappen gaining a few points there, making up for the last few races, or should I say his last 2D TNFs as he's had, which is a shame for him, but I'm sure he'll find his way soon. But yeah, good stuff there. Only 15 drivers have scored points in this championship as well. And as we move on to the constructors, Ferrari and Mercedes, 1 point separate them at the top. Red Bull move ahead of McLaren, well, not really though, because they're exactly the same on points. Renault a bit behind McLaren as well, just a little bit, and then from there it's just basically a battle for 6th, and we're in that mix for 6th. As you can see here, we're about to move on to the Spanish Grand Prix, but before we go, we've got a few facility upgrades as well, with the durability and stuff like that, because we've got a decent amount of money to spend, and for our simulator as well. As you can see, we're going to be upgrading our second driver's pace as well, just to get a bit more improvement in Mick, because Mick has been underperforming recently. He's been not too bad, but yeah. So you guys, as you can see on your screen right now, we're not ending there, because I said before, we're going to do the Spanish Grand Prix. So I think it's time to now go to the Spanish Grand Prix and see what this Grand Prix unfolds. Let's go. So we're here for the Spanish Grand Prix, round 4 of the Career Mode Championship here, or should I say the My Team Career Mode Championship. And it is it's sunny today, as normal, to be honest. Normally it would be in Spain anyways, the weather is always like that, and we're here to see what the Grand Prix is going to unfold. And today we have both Mercedes lining up at the front row, followed by the 2 Mercedes on the second row, both Red Bulls looking up the third row, followed by Daniel Ricciardo and the Renault in 7th, Lance Stroll 8th, Perez 9th, Lando Norris rounding up the top 10 and 10th, Kvyat 11th, Ocon 12th, Sainz 13th, followed by Gasly and Grosjean. Here comes Kimi Räikkönen from Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kevin Magnussen and myself 19th, Mick 20th, and the 2 Williams locking out the back row. As we get going here for the formation lap, and we're trying a different strategy as well. I don't know if you've noticed, because we're going to be trying a one-stop strategy, because everyone else seems to be going to go for a 2-stop strategy in this Grand Prix. Now, if we make this work, we'll be on to something here as well, so we could have good potential for some decent points if this does work, especially if we've got some safety cars as well. But as you can see here, everyone is lined up on the grid. The lights are coming on to get the Spanish Grand Prix underway. What will this Grand Prix unfold? And it's lights out and away we go. And again, Charles Leclerc getting a good start there. I spotted that on the camera once again, and as you can see, we're now taking a dive down inside on Giovinazzi into the slipstream of Räikkönen. We have the soft tyres on, remember, so we've got to take advantage of the tyres compared to everyone else. Round outside of Magnussen, surely not contact with Magnussen again, and we just about avoid him, I believe there. That was very close. As we go into the next corner here, we're understeering wide into the next corner, because it's so hard to follow other cars at the start with heavy fuel as well, and Räikkönen is now challenging us into the next corner, but we've got a good exit here. We got a good turning, should I say, and now a good exit on Grosjean, I believe this is. He's struggling a lot, and we're going to send it down the inside, because we're going to take advantage of any car we see just lying about going very slow, because you know we are not the quickest of cars at the moment. We soon will be into later to the season. Again, end of the straight there, down the inside on Pierre Gasly. He is on the medium tyres. We almost make contact with the Toro Rosso driver, or should I say the AlphaTauri driver. There's the first mistake already for their team name. Knew that was going to happen eventually.
Engine is looking a little worn. Power output will be less than optimal.
So as you can see, lap 4 of the Grand Prix, we're keeping up with Carlos Sainz, but bad news right away, as we have still got wear. Well, we have just recently got some wear on the engine, which is going to give us a power deficit, which we do not want. We're slow enough on a straight line, and the key thing here is we just saved up our overtake just to use a little bit on the straight to help with the power deficit that we have. And as we go into lap 8, all the front runners are pitting. As you can see, this was Hamilton trying to do the undercut on Leclerc, I think, and it's worked. It has worked for Lewis Hamilton. He's got past Charles Leclerc, I believe, or I'm not sure. Maybe Leclerc was ahead or behind. I'm not sure. I'm just randomly guessing here, but it looked very close because Hamilton and Bottas has got stuck in traffic, and we are the leading runner off that traffic actually, because we're stretching the softs to whenever the medium runners are going to start pitting, or somehow we can manage that. But as you can see, Bottas tried to get past us there. He had to back out of it because we're not going to settle for anything here. We need to try and gain as much time as we possibly can, or not lose any time, and then eventually Bottas flies past us on the back straight there, so that's good for him. And as you can see, we skip later on, and if you can see in the distance there, that is still Leclerc and Hamilton behind us. That's about 3 laps later, and he's going round outside of Grosjean and Hamilton. Eventually Bottas is nowhere to be seen, so Bottas has gained so much in all this. So these are the races you've got to love, and especially the leaders get caught in traffic, and it really shapes up the Grand Prix and strategy. And as you can see later on, onto lap 10 of the Grand Prix, we have pitted for the hard compound tyres, and we're taking these tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. Now I can't wait to see what's going to happen here, because no one else is going to try a one stop surely. I believe everyone else is going to try either medium soft, or just medium hard. And as you can see, lap 16, everyone pitting around us, back up to 14th, where we were on the Grand Prix, basically. So just a realistic position for us here, and we might get lucky later on with a few collisions or so. And as you can see, Perez is now pitting for a 2-stop strategy. So I did mention this before, that most drivers will be doing 2 stops, and Ricciardo has pitted as well, and luckily we're not too far behind them, so we could gain some time. And as you can see, we're very close with Ricciardo, but not enough to get past Ricciardo there, unfortunately for us. But luckily, as we go halfway into the lap here, we're almost ended lap onto lap 20, you can see we have a massive problem for whoever that is there, and I believe that's Max Verstappen, who's on the hards, and he's slowing down Ricciardo a lot into this final sector. And I was thinking, could he have a problem? I think, well, he might have a problem, I'm not sure, as he peels off into the pit, so it clearly shows that he has some sort of damage, and there's been a collision somewhere during the lap he's pitted, or came out the pits, which was obviously a lap ago, and it's just had massive problems, and it's held up Ricciardo, and we've just not got close enough to get a good run down the main straight and get past him, unfortunately. Now we've got a replay of what happened to Verstappen into turn 1. Vettel comes out the pits, there goes Verstappen's wing, and that is absolutely devastating for Verstappen.
Blind, honestly.
Verstappen just has no luck this season. I actually can't believe it. It was his own fault, I have to admit there, but he just has no luck at all when it just comes to trying to score points or just get a podium or anything. As you can see, Perez locking up there. We're always going to the back of him. That was Perez going past us, and we had to let him go actually, because he is so much quicker, and we don't want to really fight anybody. Because we are nursing engine problems as well. So just remember, we have decent pace alongside engine problems, which helps. Talk about engine problems, here is Kimi Räikkönen with a massive engine problem, and I'll tell you what, who's gained out of all that? Me and Pierre Gasly, because I don't know if you noticed there, we were in a massive pack of cars fighting for 12th or so, I believe. Was it 9th? I think we got up to 9th after all that, and Räikkönen is peeling off, and we've gained so much, and then now everyone else has got a bit of a gap behind us.
The turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum.
As we skip on to lap 29 of the Grand Prix, as you can see, we've skipped on a lot here, and we're barely getting any decent power on the straight. Gasly gaining about half a second just on that main straight, because we've got a massive power deficit. And as you can see, we are in 10th position, because obviously we were in 9th, but we had to let Perez go, and there's no point fighting for 9th when there's a car so much quicker than us. As you can see, he's 18 seconds down the road as we're on to the final lap here off the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got overtake on and everything, ready to defend from Gasly. He's not close enough though, but we do feel pretty good with the car. I'm not going to lie, the car has felt pretty good throughout this Grand Prix. But as you can see, another driver who's been having a good feel for the car is Lewis Hamilton, because he just made it 4 different winners in this career mode season.
What a fantastic job, guys. Really, so impressed. Thank you so much.
So if I can remember, I actually believe it was Bottas that was leading this, and he ended up doing another strategy. I'm not sure what the strategy was, but then I actually came into Hamilton's hands, and he's won the Grand Prix and made it 4 different winners. But I'll tell you what, we've only went and got points again in this championship. 10th place for us at the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, I did say before the Grand Prix started that we could take advantage of stuff like this if we have a decent strategy, and we did manage to nurse the car to the end. We nursed it with so many engine problems, with, well, yeah, little bits of deficit in power and stuff like that, and obviously MG UK and all those kinds of stuff were starting to go, and we just ended up somehow pulling it out the bag, because obviously our car is good with its chassis, a little bit of aerodynamics, and we're not focused too much on powertrain. We have done a good enough upgrades, but obviously we're not going to go crazy and just go just for power. That's why our car seems to work on tracks like this a little bit. We were obviously a little bit off the pace, 3.5 seconds and that, but obviously we had an engine problem, but we made up for it in the corners and held off Pierre Gasly, which I will take. So it is pretty promising stuff. Raikkonen retired, also Latifi retired some point during the race as well, I forgot to show that, and also Verstappen in the end finished 19th after his front wing, and then Mick actually finished ahead of him, and I believe Verstappen actually did a 4-stop as well, which was pretty crazy. I don't know what that was all about, but his race was pretty much down from after that contact with Vettel. Back to the championship standings here. As you can see, we're still in 12th, just like the last Grand Prix. And for the constructors, we still late in 7th place, 3 points behind Racing Point as well, after Perez scoring a few points for Racing Point ahead of us. So still on, the battle for 6th is still on here, but obviously these points are crucial, as you will see later into the championship, because we've got to get used to these sort of races. Well, not these kind of races, like what you've seen last time with the Dutch Grand Prix is what we could expect every Grand Prix, but we're just getting a bit lucky here with some of the results and how the races plan out. But it's looking very interesting, very exciting stuff here. So once again, we started lower down the grid and finished higher up than we did, and got driver of the day for, I believe, maybe the 3rd time. I think we've had it 3 out of the 4 races. I'm not sure. Try and correct me in the comments if it's all the races. But yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm not going to do double episodes all the time. I'm only going to do this just because of the sake of some Grand Prix were not like the best or so. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've officially broken the amount of career mode episodes we've done last year, which is promising. This is the most career mode episodes we have done since about 2017, so it's pretty crazy. I know it's stupid saying that, it's only 3, but yeah, guys, I hope you're looking forward to the Monaco Grand Prix, which is next. So I wonder what's going to bring for us there. Should be a very interesting race. Obviously we've got a good chassis, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we've got. So we're ready for Monaco. We have made this car basically just for Monaco at the moment, and this is our best chance, I would say, to score a very, very, very good amount of points. But you know, we just don't know what's going to happen with collisions and stuff like that. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers at the moment. We're almost there, and I appreciate if you could subscribe and help me reach that goal, which we're closing on very, very quickly. Comment below what you thought as well. I appreciate your support on all these career mode videos as well. I'm going to keep getting them sent out. I'm going to keep going with the career mode videos. I'm very much enjoying it as well, and I hope you guys are too. And we're getting there with the championship. We'll be done before we know it, guys. But yeah, guys, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time.